Hey,
Yo.
we're all here. So let's kick this off. First of all, this is episode 190, and it's getting more abundantly clear that we're not going to be able to get together for episode 200. It would have been really nice to get like a keg and do something in my backyard. I guess we have 10 weeks, but
Not going to happen, unfortunately.
Brick, your mic is muted. But you have plenty of time to go get a really cheap plane ticket right now. So,
Have you been looking at flights at all?
no, I know that I'm not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. Not worth it. If anything, I'll end up picking up one of the business trips I had that got canceled. So, not my problem.
I saw my mom was looking up tickets back in probably a couple weeks ago, but she's got a round trip to France for like $350 in September. So hopefully she can go. Maybe
So might work.
Yeah.
I mean, people are still flying. I've been seeing like airplanes overhead, not that many, but still, I've still been seeing them.
It's like this is like I'd say probably a tenth of the normal. I've been following. I don't know. You get stupid like visual graphics of a normal day versus what we're doing right now. So the planes are mostly grounded, and all the airlines are bitching because they don't have any money. But also, fuck them. They did this to themselves.
Plus, are you also going to risk the chance of getting quarantined over in France and like
No,
no one's going to be out anyway? To be not really the point. If that is the case, however.
My brother had a trip planned to like in the Caribbean somewhere, and he was like, I'd be fine getting stuck there, but like if everybody gets sick, I don't know what their hospitals are like, and it's a pretty good point.
Yeah.
Let's start this as we always do with a mental health check. Mark, how are you doing locked in the house with a wife and a baby and Moose?
I mean, I've been catching up on all my shows, and that's a plus. But
that's all that really matters, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just amazed at how much shit I was behind on, and now I like kind of feel somewhat complete, because that sense when like you're having your day-to-day week with work and you're just like, damn, I really want to watch that show, but I also want to finish out this show before I forget what the fuck is going on.
I mean, that's pretty much what I did with Ozark. I'm
starting Bob's Burgers right now.
Bob's Burgers is very good, and you don't have to pay super hyper focused attention to. Like if you're working and you have it on in the background, you still pick up jokes and shit.
They jab jokes at your way for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. Brick, mental health check. Have you or has Pfeiffer tried to murder you or vice versa?
Not yet. No, I've been actually had some rises and falls only in terms of empires, because I am addicted to Civilization 6. I have been playing online and I've been dealing with King Terry to my south. I got Cummings coming on from my north, being a warmonger. I'm over here, peaceful Alexander, trying to just be a scientific guy. But
can you explain what this is?
You create your own civilization from the dawn of time and then build it throughout existence, and then the first person to like wins a space race or a culture or a dominance victory wins the game.
It's basically imperialism, and like you pick, are you going to be like a scientific based community or like a militaristic community or whatever.
And you get to choose different leaders like Teddy Roosevelt,
Mahatma Gandhi.
Yep, they got Gandhi. I got screwed with Gandhi last time I played. I tried to do violence right away, and then all my units got killed, so I literally had to sit there in peace and learn Gandhi lessons as I was just high as balls. Like, damn it, I should have just stayed peaceful.
Wait, this is a PC game, I assume?
No, Xbox. It just came out on Xbox last November. I thought there was an old game, but I just found it out. I just found out about it the other day, and I told a couple of friends about it, and we haven't stopped playing it. We've been just like absolutely being psycho leaders, diplomatic, trying to take over city states and then trading the city states between each other for land. It's crazy. It's insane.
So do you guys work together, or are you trying? You're each trying to.
It's on PC. You can also play it. It looks like there's a Switch version, which that may be the way to go if you have it.
Yes. I wanted to go Switch, but I also wanted to play at the same time with other players. So it's a fine dance that you're playing, because you want to beat the other team, but also you have to work together because you're playing against, it's 4 of us playing, and then there's like 9 total. So there's like 5 computers playing. So we have to work together against the computers, kind of, but also we're kind of dancing the line between, am I gonna be the civilization that wins, or kind of dances the line at the end there.
Okay.
Also,
I really want to play this game. I used to watch my roommate play it every now and then, and you just like it'd be dead silent at 3 a.m. and you just hear him scream, "Fuck!"
yeah, like because it's turn-based combat, so like you have all these master plans, and all of a sudden these goddamn barbarians are invading your camp, and you're like, well, I can't let Rome fall. I guess I can't continue on killing the city state, and then you're just like kind of stuck. And it's a whole thing.
Is it like a large overhead game like League of Legends or?
Yeah.
Okay.
You create your own cities, trade routes.
Yeah, very interesting. I'm actually
Addicted.
now I'm tempted.
Get it it's on sale on Xbox, I believe. Get it, and we've been playing nonstop. Get yourself a civilization, be Cleopatra or some shit. Just take over the world. It's
the Cleopatra.
Absolutely. You have the configure of it.
Yes, this is a Powerline shirt. Thank you for noticing in the chat. I wanted to mention this specifically because I think 2 days ago, Friday, was like the 25th anniversary of the release of a Goofy movie. Probably the best Disney movie ever made. And got to pay homage, you know?
Yeah.
+1 for the Powerline shirt. I will also establish I am the point master.
I was going to bring that up too. Did you? I know nobody watches this because it's like a kid show, but whatever the new Mickey Mouse show with Goofy is, like the actual kid version
on Disney Plus.
Yeah, Goofy showed up this week and like he was like showing pictures of his kids and basically confirmed that Max is still with Roxanne, which is
funny.
I needed good news, and that was my good news for the week. So,
heck yeah, love still exists.
Absolutely,
even in this time of quarantine and pandemonium.
Yeah, pretty much.
Onwards on Disney Plus too.
Yeah, yesterday. I think last Friday dropped, so totally worth it. So before we get too deep, and since Brick, you mentioned you were points master, we have a couple of suggestions for movies that we would need to watch. So let me play this voicemail real quick.
What up, chumps? It's your boy Deck. Heard you needed some voicemails, so I thought I'd call in. I actually got a couple bad movies that I would love for one of you guys to review. First one, I actually saw this in theaters. It's called Darkness Falls.
Oof.
It's a real horror classic. I'd love to get somebody's review on that one. And then the second one is the Taron Egerton Robin Hood. I went down a little bit of a YouTube rabbit hole this weekend, and I happened upon
it froze.
pod. So
what froze?
Yeah, that's about it. Hope you can make that happen.
The audio cut out for me.
God damn it, Mark. Yeah, so Deck, thanks for calling in. We have two recommendations here. One is Darkness Falls, which I specifically remember the movie poster for, which was a woman in a bathtub as like a shadow is coming to engulf her. That's pretty much everything that I remember about that movie, and really bad.
Let me show you. I'll read the little blurb here from Google. In Maine, the residents of Darkness Falls are all aware of the legend of Matilda Dixon, an old woman who was tragically murdered by a mob in the 1800s because the townspeople thought she was killing children. Now, Darkness Falls has to contend with Matilda's supernatural wrath. Childhood friends
creepy.
Kyle, Caitlin return home to uncover the truth behind the legend of Caitlin's little brother. Has recurring nightmares about Matilda. 2003, January 24th. Crazy. Well, a January movie. That's why it was bad.
That makes all the sense in the world.
9% on Rotten Tomatoes.
When the Robin Hood movie came out, but that looked terrible. That was the one where like Jamie Foxx was in it.
Mm-hmm.
He had weird scars on his face, I think, and everybody had like fully automatic crossbows. Looked very bad. So both great suggestions for the movies that you would have to watch as punishment for losing. If I had to pick, I think maybe, unless we have a better option, I think we do loser's choice, and you pick one of those two for next week based on who loses. What do you guys think?
Down for it.
That works for me. I didn't know Joel Edgerton was Australian.
Taron Egerton?
Joel Edgerton.
Oh, who's Joel Edgerton?
The uglier one.
The one who was in Warrior with Tom Hardy.
and play the orc in your favorite movie,
okay.
Bright.
Yeah, that's gonna give him facial recognition.
Very good point. But yeah, we appreciate these suggestions for shitty movies that we have to watch. I think that it is better if we do a movie that people actually heard about instead of something like Killer Sofa. Obviously, we can mix in a Velocipaster every now and again because those are hilarious. But I'm very excited to hear your review on Killer Sofa.
Killer Sofa.
We didn't talk about it. Are we going to save that for Patreon? Or are we going to just do it on? This is going to be a short episode if we don't.
Let's save it for Patreon.
Okay. Well, we'll try to kill some space then.
Real quick, Rick, how does it line up with
Velocipaster?
Was it worse? Was it on par?
It was actually better. I didn't know.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll go. Well, it was better than Velocipaster, but also I don't know. Did you guys see my Snapchat of me watching it this morning?
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't watch it.
There's some of the purest stupidity, but also like I thought it was serious to start out. Like this was a serious movie, just because it was stupid. But like they got me with a twist at the end. They did get me with a twist. That's what I'm like. All right. Okay, Killer Sofa, you sick fuck.
My measuring stick is usually like, do you care what happens to any of these characters?
Oh no. But there was a twist. All
right.
One more question. Was it one singular sofa, or was it like a spirit that would go into sofas and then just like nom 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 like
doing the sequel?
Yeah, no, I will refrain from answering because that would be getting into spoilers.
Spoilers, bro.
No spoilers for Killer Sofa, dude. Wouldn't you think it'd be called Killer Couch?
It depends on how hoity-toity you are. Like, have you ever called it a sofa, like in your living room? Because I always just call it a couch.
And it was definitely a recliner.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Not even a love seat. Just a lazy boy.
It was a recliner.
That's even funnier.
The one thing I will say, there in about the 17-minute mark of the movie, there is what I would call a sex scene between a recliner and a woman.
Did you have a nice jerk?
Obviously.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't even jerk. It just came immediately.
You were in a recliner. You're like, whoa. Just lean back.
I start like fingering the little hole where you recline slowly. That's what they were doing. And that's what I'll leave that for the Patreon. We'll get into the dirty details of the couch fucker.
Beautiful. It does remind me a little bit. Did you guys ever see Look Who's Talking Now?
No.
Basically came out like early 90s and it was two babies. I think John Travolta was in it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I've seen those.
They were trying to potty train one of the toddlers. And it was basically you just cut to this kind of anthropomorphic toilet that has teeth and just like started yelling at the kid like, "Give me your pee-pee." Very funny if you've ever watched it.
Poop in my mouth. That's what they're saying. That's what he's saying.
Okay, I have one more voicemail, and this one we can actually riff on a little bit. So sit tight.
That's all I know. It is the answer what I need from y'all. I need movie pictures from all three of y'all. We all know 2020 been a little wild. So I need movie pictures about any events that's happened. That's it. I'm not giving y'all no hints. Good luck. And I'm happy to see what y'all come up with.
Okay.
So that's our guy Darian asking for, I interpret this as like a movie that would take place during this pandemic right now. So something that would come of this. So Mark, you seem pretty excited. I'm guessing you have something prepared.
I have something. Should we actually, I know he wants all three of us, but Brick, you can go last, I guess, but maybe you should give points based on the one you like the most.
Look at him telling you how to be points master.
Okay. I think it's an interesting take. And I do have one in mind, but I want to hear both of yours, and I will give 3 points to whoever I think is actually wins.
Stakes, baby. High stakes.
Yeah, this is big. 3 points is the highest points total you can have in our game.
All right, so I'm gonna do like a hybrid movie pitch, but also like a movie trailer. So it's gonna put you a little bit more in the seat of what's going on.
Okay, I will interject with questions as they come to mind.
I'll pause like in between breaks and see if you have questions.
Who's your lead?
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Method actor. Wow, busting out the big guns. All right.
Actually, there's 3 main characters. We have Seth Rogen, Daniel Day-Lewis, and then fucking James Franco.
Okay.
All right. A year after the great coronavirus pandemic, everyone's still on edge. People that are coughing are getting ridiculed, thrown in jail, and some are even put to death. Daniel Day-Lewis is heading one of the largest underground pot empires. Little does anyone know the purpose of his empire is to take down all pot smokers across the world.
-1 point for trying to get rid of pot. Okay. Know your audience, bro.
Why would he be trying to get rid of all the pot smokers, you may ask? Well, it all started when he was 6. His dad was smoking weed and forgot about his Little League Championship baseball game where he was the starting pitcher. He never forgave his dad and never forgave the side effects of marijuana. Daniel Day-Lewis, the head of this marijuana empire, decides to create a strain of weed that makes your throat really, really extra scratchy. In a world where even a couch can cause cough, not couch. In a world where even a cough can cause you to face prison time and even death, this is no laughing matter. But in comes Seth Rogen with James Franco, 2 notorious pot smokers, and they know something's up. They're ready to take down Daniel Day-Lewis because they know he is tinkering with their weed.
There's a Pineapple Express sequel.
Pretty much. They're trying to take down Daniel Day-Lewis, who is tampering with all this weed. So people across the world that smoke pot will be coughing and then put to death or thrown in prison.
I actually kind of like it. I actually kind of like it.
First of all, Daniel Day-Lewis retired. Secondly, even
not for this movie, he's back for this movie.
He's back for this, specifically because it's Seth Rogen and James Franco. Coming out of retirement for that. Got it.
It's inspiring work.
I do appreciate the originality. I can't really compare it to anything else, so that's points for that.
You don't get to give points.
Yeah, who's Smithers?
What are you doing, Smithers? What are you doing? -1.
Fantastic.
-1 for giving fake points out. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I do every week. Right.
What are you writing there, Brick?
Fake points. -1.
You clearly put a lot more thought into this. Minus points for hustling. Maybe I'll just tank this week because I really want to watch that Robin Hood movie. I don't know. All right. So I did not put nearly as much thought into this. I guess I should have had I known, but mine is more of a romantic comedy. And I think for the lead on this, it would be Anna Kendrick. So she's like a lower level scientist working at like a place that manufactures vaccines. Okay. And she's a klutz because that's kind of what the character that she always plays is. You know, she's got her headphones in and she's singing a little bit because she sings and everything.
Whoopsie.
She accidentally combines, like she drops a vaccine into another vaccine and accidentally creates the cure for coronavirus. And overnight, she is now the most famous and well-known person in the entire world. So the story is she's like this normal person living a regular life in, I don't know, whatever nondescript city in a small shitty apartment with her boyfriend who kind of is a dick to her. And all of a sudden she has to deal with overnight stardom and celebrity. And, people are throwing money at her and, everybody wants to be her boyfriend or whatever. I don't really know how this goes, but she eventually gets away from her shitty boyfriend who tries to get her back somehow. That's really as far as I flesh this out.
Who is her boyfriend? Who's the lead, the comedy lead?
So let me think of like a shitty. Okay, did you ever watch The Mick?
Yes.
Okay,
that boyfriend.
Absolutely. He's also the Righteous Gemstones guy.
Yes.
He just like plays a perpetual dirtbag. I think
Skeezer.
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually I'm gonna give that one a great cast. That's a great cast on that one. I do like that guy. He's actually.
Rick,
really
I didn't
funny
even give the name of my movie.
Let's hear it.
Corona high teen. No, I mean COVID high teen. Damn, I fucked it up. Give me -2 points, but +3 for trying.
Also, don't ever tell me to give you or subtract points ever again. 1 point altogether.
It's
COVID high teen.
All right, Brick, lay your pitch on us.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Rear Window by Alfred Hitchcock?
Yeah, the horror movie. Yeah.
Basically, this old reporter is in like New York style apartments, and he looks outside and he thinks he witnesses a murder, whatever. People are locked up in quarantine. We cut to an old guy leaving with a home nurse leaving his apartment, being like, "Yeah, we can't have him into the old retirement home with all this COVID-19. He's gonna have to stay here." And so,
the cast. Can you as you lay it out? Can you tell us?
Yes, the old man is played by who's the dad? Who's the dad from Step Brothers? I forget that guy's name. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Though
everyone knows what you're talking about.
Yeah. So he's just like this old guy now, and he's like old senile guy. He has to go back into the hotel or he has to go back to the retirement home. Anyway, about an hour later, he's looking out the window because there's nothing else to do because it's in quarantine, and he sees a home burglary across the street. And so he calls the police. Police don't believe him because he's an old senile man and he's been doing this before. But as he's basically going crazy throughout the entire movie, he's watching all of these home invaders try and basically try and leave after stealing all this stuff. But there's been a quarantine and a full lockdown. So the people that they tied up and the robbers are living together in this quarantine. And this old guy is like, what the hell is going on? Turns out that it's actually just Dale and Will Ferrell. You don't know that until later on. And then they just become best friends. And then the robbers and the family just live together in quarantine forever.
Is this a Step Brothers spinoff?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. They were just basically fucking with the dad forever by redoing the same gag every single day and ruining and driving him crazy every single day from his windows up. You're muted.
Minus a point.
If I may, the post credit stinger would be like a reveal that they were actually killing a new person every day.
Wow, dark. Plus 2 points for being super dark.
What I'm good at.
Yes.
It's really all I know.
Okay, so I will say I liked both pitches. Both were better than mine, I would say. So point for that. And then I'm going to actually award Mark with the win for that one, just because I do need a buddy Seth Rogen, James Franco back to Pineapple Express. Wow, peanut butter jelly jams, disrespecting Smithers time and time again. But yes, Mark with the W on that one. +3 for the movie pitch. There you go.
Yes, I get to watch Robin Hood. Sick.
Smithers, are you drinking right now?
I am.
Plus points. Mark, are you drinking right now?
Water, technically.
Plus points because you're a dad now. Cool. Water and booze. Cool. I'm drinking coffee and booze.
Are you drinking the canned stuff that you had before, or is this just... Oh, you're drinking coffee, also drinking booze. Got it.
Yes. Fresh, tasty Keystone, baby.
Is that better than Natter Days?
It's the same thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
They just 100%. Rebranded it so people would be okay with buying it after the summer.
I guess, but it's different brands altogether. But yeah.
You guys remember when it used to be a big deal that Summer Shandy was back in stores?
Yes.
Especially wearing the Gateway hoodie. Like it was a sign that spring was coming, and now it's really only like 2 months out of the year that you can't go to the store and buy it.
Exactly.
It makes a fruity beer.
Exactly. And usually if you want the summer shandies, it's in the 2 months that it's out, they have all these other different Leinenkugel beers that you can try.
Yeah, like there's like a cherry or a raspberry one. Anyway.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, Barry Weiss is fantastic.
It is. It's also very sweet, so I can only have like 3 of them, but
very true too.
All right. I asked you guys to watch the trailer for Extraction starring Chris Hemsworth. And this is also produced by the Russo brothers, who did all of the Avengers stuff. So basically this is the tie to the MCU, even though it's not really. But I feel like this is, I don't want to call it the light at the end of a dark tunnel, because who knows how long that tunnel is, but it's going to be a long time before we get another good movie, probably. Most of our saving grace right now is TV, and this actually looks pretty good. Mark, what'd you think?
It's cool. I like that Chris Hemsworth is sticking to his actual accent. And I don't know. This is another Netflix movie where I feel like it's going to be a little bit better than what was the last one we got that was just way over the top, like Fast and Furious mixed with fucking Die Hard.
Triple Frontier?
Ryan Reynolds one.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Six Underground.
Six Underground.
I
I still like that.
Since then, they've released another over the top ridiculous one, Spencer Confidential. I don't know if either of you guys watched that. It's the Mark Wahlberg one.
We did. I did. It was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, to your point, it's going to be more like that Frontier movie. Or maybe just a mix. What was that?
That was really bad. As long as Ben Affleck isn't directing this or starring in it or anywhere near it, then I think we're okay.
Yeah.
I'm sold on it. Dude, Chris Hemsworth looks like a badass. He's extracting a warlord's prince or a warlord's son. Yeah. I guess technically he would be a prince if he was. Well, I guess technically not. But it's a battle between two drug lords in the Middle East, between India and I guess the Middle East. And he has to go in and steal the guy's son who was kidnapped. And he's like a badass super adventure. Loving it.
So from IMDb, Chris Hemsworth plays a guy named Tyler Rake. I feel like they could have named him a little better there, but whatever. A fearless black market mercenary embarks on the most deadly extraction of his career when he's enlisted to rescue the kidnapped son of an imprisoned international crime lord. So there you go. Directed by Sam Hargrave, who worked on a whole shitload of stuff. Avengers Endgame, Deadpool 2. I have faith in stuff like this because he's an ex-stuntman. And we've seen with John Wick and stuff like that, they know what they're doing in terms of action flicks. So that's why I'm hopeful for this movie.
Fuck yeah.
I wish we had more trailers. Most of the shit that we're getting right now is this Quibi stuff, which I'll check out, I guess. They did like a little teaser for the Reno 911 reunion that they're having.
What?
It's like, imagine every dumb joke you could make about starting a Zoom meeting where everybody's like, hello, can you hear me? And it's just like it goes on for like 30 seconds, which is funny if you know the characters and everything, that's what you want. But most of the stuff we're getting right now, like production is halted. We're going to be without stuff for a while. So,
yeah, we are going to be looking at a lot of YouTube of people doing weird shit.
Or video games, mostly.
Or VGs. That's true. Yeah. Or, start your own civilization. Smithers, you're getting this game.
I feel like I am.
Smithers, if you get this game, I'll give you +3 points.
I'll get it.
+3 points for Smithers.
I wanted to mention that the PS Store, the PlayStation Store, is having their spring sale right now, and everything's marked down super low. If you're looking to play The Last of Us Remastered on PS4, it's down to like $15 right now. So check that out. The Witcher 3's marked way down. Be on the lookout for that stuff. There was one other trailer that I didn't send to you guys because it was a Quibi thing too, but what the fuck else do we have to do? Dane DeHaan is starring in this movie where he gets picked up by like an Uber driver and eventually just tells this Uber driver that he just murdered the person at the house that he was picked up from. It looks kind of creepy because Dane DeHaan has those cokehead eyes and he could be a fucking creeper.
What's he in?
He was the newer Green Goblin from the Spider-Man. The
super emo hair.
Yeah. He looks.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So he's a pretty good actor. I mean, might be worth checking out. We'll see.
He does have those eyes you were talking about. Nope. Now that you mention it,
I didn't mind him as Harry Osborn, to be honest.
No, he was good. Those movies just weren't that great.
Yeah.
He also looks a lot like Charlie Heaton from Stranger Things. Again, cokehead eyes.
What's his name? What's the guy's name again?
Charlie Heaton or Dane DeHaan?
Dane DeHaan.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about some actual movie news. We got our first look at the Netflix series Space Force, which is starring Steve Carell, a few other big name actors. Lisa Kudrow's in there, John Malkovich, Tawny Newsome, Ben Schwartz, the guy from our
the worst.
He's one of my favorite people on the planet. I fucking love him. He was the voice of Sonic.
Sam, he's so good. John Ralphio's the best.
Jin Yang is in this. Mark, I know he's your favorite.
We don't burn garbage, Jin Yang.
So we didn't get anything but set photos from this, but it looks really promising. This is coming at the end of May. I think it's from the people who originally made The Office. So like I said, anything that's in the can right now and just being edited, that's what we can count on getting in the coming months. So
brilliant. Yeah. Also, I did hear that another one of the writers from The Office is creating a quarantine-like show based off of what's happening now.
okay, like
So,
a comedy.
I think it's going to be a comedy. Yeah, I think so, because it's got to be just people zooming in the weird shit that they're experiencing, right?
Somebody like taking a dump on a Zoom call.
Yeah, or that guy who keeps like putting his wang in front of different things, like a metronome. Kind of. You seen that?
No, thankfully I have not seen that.
Yeah, no, I'll send it to you. He like also does those things. You know when you like grab the sheet of cloth on a table and like you whip it underneath it and like the
Asian guy.
Yeah, that guy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. God damn
He
it.
does it. He's just like,
He stares at the camera like this is what that guy's doing. That guy was probably doing that before the quarantine. He was like, I bet you I can do
He
this.
absolutely was. He's been doing that shit for years.
What a pro.
He really.
Space Force is co-created by Carell and Greg Daniels, the guy that did the U.S. Office.
We
Okay.
need a little humor at this point.
We need
at
a
this
lot
juncture.
of humor.
Yes.
We need a shitload of humor. Let's bring this down a little bit. The actors who play DC characters are having a really fucking bad week.
Fucking psycho Amber Heard. Oh my God. See you in jail.
So
Well, I
Amber
won't see ya.
is facing up to 3 years for falsifying evidence against Johnny Depp and saying that he was abusing her. That's one shitty thing. Now she's getting sued by her former assistant who said that she was abusive and shitty to that assistant. Now a video was released recently of Ezra Miller in Reykjavik, Iceland, choking and slamming a woman to the ground at a bar.
Ezra Miller's the guy from Silicon Valley who got cut, right?
No, that's not it. He's the Flash. He was also in
Derp. Yep.
yeah, that's
TJ Miller.
you think.
Yeah.
So that Flash movie definitely isn't going to happen now, and Amber Heard is definitely going to be recast. Also, these people suck, and they should not get any work anymore. Amber Heard damn near ruined Johnny Depp's career. Everybody hated him for a long time because they just took her word from the jump. And she hired a bunch of private investigators and shit, and they couldn't dig up anything on this dude. So maybe we owe him an apology. You know, he lost the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise because of this. It was one of the biggest franchises in movies.
One of the most notable characters.
He just looked bad in the media for like years because he was super quiet. And then like when you heard shit about him, I'm sure it was fucking pushed by Amber Heard to be like, hey, he's a piece of shit.
To be heard, if you will.
And this would be a perfect time for Secret Window 2. Perfect quarantine movie. Secret Window 2, Johnny Depp. Alone in his house again on writer's block. Fuck.
It's almost, and it's also reminiscent of Rear Window a lot.
Yeah.
So there you go.
She like hired a spy too to spy on him.
Also known as a private investigator. Thanks for listening.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like there were just private investigators looking into Johnny Depp.
But she also hired an international spy, you say?
Yeah. Like Mr. Magoo.
Yeah. Let's get back to actual movie news, though. Do you guys remember Atomic Blonde?
Yes, but I didn't watch it.
Brick, you're muted. It was actually a pretty good movie. We saw it in theaters. We did a review on it. You might have been out of town that week. But the sequel is being produced by Netflix.
One of the best one-shot scenes I've ever seen. Remember when she's fighting in the hallway and it goes up the stairs and down through like several different rooms? That was incredible.
I forgot about that. It was shot as one shot. She's all sorts of fucked up, like going down the stairs. Yeah, that was a better movie than people gave it credit for.
And it was silent too. Like there wasn't any like action music. I'm pretty sure it was just like the camera, and they were fighting to death.
No really bad shaky cam, which tells you that like they actually did the work in the stunt crew. So this was Charlize Theron, and hopefully she comes back to do the sequel because I really like this movie.
She is the Atomic Blonde. Hopefully one can assume.
She is. So I think that's going to wrap up our news.
Best.
We the best!
Worst.
The worst! She's the worst person in the world. Huge, skank, terrible, but thank you.
All right. So, Brick, as the points master, I'll let you go first. Who's your worst or best? Man, What does it say when I just assume that we're just automatically going to have the worst person alive?
Yeah, no, it's just the times we're in.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the best man alive to Smithers for buying Civ 6 and playing Civ 6 with me later. So,
AKA Brick didn't have a best man alive.
AKA, that's correct.
Mark, did you dig anything up?
Since we went and supported the Verizon 5G network launch party as social media influencers, I'd have to say the worst people alive are all the people burning down the 5G towers because they think it's related to coronavirus starting.
Did you see that one GIF or not that one meme about all the different times that the new technology kind of came up? There was a new giant flu that killed everybody.
Ooh.
I mean, there's always new technology coming, though.
Exactly. But
So,
some people are just connecting the dots.
no, they're looking to connect dots that don't exist.
Yeah, well, they're still connecting the dots by in the ether of their dumb brain cell. But yeah.
Yeah, in the same way that Charlie Day did in Always Sunny when he was actually just
Pepe.
completely.
Well, what was the guy's points to whoever knows the guy's name? Pepe Sylvia. Okay, plus for Smithers.
So I did my research this week, aka just paid attention for shitty news stories. There's a mayor in a small town. You guys ever heard of Alton, Illinois?
No, it
You
almost sounds familiar. It almost.
It's a shitty little town in the middle of nowhere, but the mayor named Brant Walker basically set a citywide or townwide, whatever you call it, village-wide stay-at-home order, and was saying, like, you people need to be taking this seriously. We're going to have police out in force issuing tickets.
Ooh, martial law out here.
And what happened was the police showed up at a party that was being held, and the mayor's wife was there.
Oy.
And credit to Brant, because he said she should not be treated any differently just because she's my wife. So he stuck with it. She was given a citation. Like, take this shit seriously. So props to him for not just being the normal politician and saying, well, technically this is my wife, so whatever, I can just get her out of anything.
Yeah,
So
you can't. Yeah,
that matters.
it looks like it's
Hey,
just
Brick.
on the border of St. Louis,
Yeah, it's down by St. Louis.
Missouri. Yep.
Tells you everything you need to know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Brick, did you hear, since you're a big Italy guy, and I mean, Italy is one of the greatest countries in the world, and you know that because you've been there, it's a beautiful place.
Firsthand. Yep.
Yeah. And prayers are with Italy, but I thought it was hilarious that there was a mayor in Italy who took a drone and hooked up speakers and was shouting profanity through the speakers at people that were not like social distancing. You're just
That
flying
is
it
so
around.
classic Italy. Unbelievable. If you can't yell from your own balcony and reach, I'm gonna build a drone and put speakers on it, so a megaphone, so that I can still yell at people. Wow. Where did you find that? That's hilarious.
It's on, I think it's on CBS.
How do we feel about people like blasting the purge siren and stuff like that during this, or like the speech that the president gives right before the purge initiates? Is that best man or worst man? I feel like that's,
You're
if
playing
everybody was
defense.
familiar with it, I feel like it'd be okay if everybody knew what that was from. But if not, probably trying to incite some chaos.
Very true. There is some sort of balance there that could be misconstrued either way. Yeep.
Also, the next Purge movie, Jason Blum came out and said it's going to be titled, I think, The Purge Forever, which is horrifying. But news.
I thought it was gonna be the Purge Quarantine.
Oof.
That was a
They
good
could make that the Purge Quarantine.
Oh, yeah.
They're everyone's stuck in their own houses and for like months, and then that Purge Day comes, they get to kill everyone that they've been pissed off with.
Or
In their
maybe
house.
maybe
it's
it's for
for best man to announce, and that's since we've been on we tried to be on our Dungeons and Dragons kick lately. Wizards of the Coast has been releasing some free content for people out there that would normally be paid content in order to help people try and stay at home. It's like guides on creating characters, the Dungeons and Dragons Dungeon Masters Guide, stuff like that. It's all for free on their website right now. If you go to dnd.wizards.com, some of their free stuff the title of it is literally Stay at Home, Play at Home. So
Hell yeah.
Shout out to them. Oh, God damn it. There's one other story I forgot to say. Did you guys see that they're going to do a live action? Remember the Robin Hood cartoon from Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to do a live action version of that, which is basically just going to be like porn for furries.
Oh my! Wait, so there actually are going to be like foxes and shit.
I think they're going to be like CGI anthropomorphic, like bipedal up on their hind legs.
Like cats without the buttholes.
Oh, God damn it. I just had a Vietnam flashback for cats.
I saw that. You need to cut that part back in because his face was literally like, "Hello, darkness, my old friend," and just like cut to the side.
Oh, fuck. All right, on to the review, though. I finally went and watched Ozark at the behest of the both of you. I feel like, Brick, you always kind of like this show. Mark,
Yes.
you were a little lukewarm on it, and then you watch this season, you're like, okay, this is the best season. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
So I will say, in my opinion at least, this has never really been my favorite show. I've been pretty vocal about that. I gave up in the middle of season 2. We did review on season 1 like 3 years ago, which shows you how long we've been at this. But I gave up in the middle of season 2 because I thought it was just kind of redundant and a little bit boring. And I got tired of everything being covered in blue gels. Like all of the lighting and all of the cameras, just everything is dark blue.
Mm-hmm.
And there are 0 redeemable characters. Everybody sucks in it. But this is by far the best season of this show and probably makes the first 2 seasons worth watching.
Yeah, whether or not you like the characters, they brought in a few new characters and some other characters had more screen time that you hated in the second season, but you still hated, but they were also doing some shit that you were like, okay, I give you a little bit more respect. And I'm talking about Darlene, for example. Like the last 2 episodes, I'm like,
wow,
yeah, you're batshit crazy, but at the same time, kind of like it. And I can't wait for where season 4 is going to go because she's going to be a big player in it.
See, I don't think you have to like all the characters in order to like the show, but I think the character arcs that they created in this 3rd season and the juxtaposition of where they want to be helping each other, but also they hate each other. I think that they played that line like super well in this entire show.
So let's do a little better job of setting this up. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what this is, but just in case, Ozark is a Netflix series. Just released their 3rd season. Each season is 10 episodes. They're about an hour each. Starring Jason Bateman, who I think is excellent in this, even if he is a really hateable piece of shit.
Cold-blooded.
It's directed by Bill Dubuque and Mark Williams. They write a lot of episodes. They hand off some of the direction to Jason Bateman, who he's directed a lot of stuff. So he's good at what he does. I think the direction in this is very good, even if I don't really like the dark blue hue of everything. So Marty Bird, played by Jason Bateman, has his family. Obviously, they lived in Chicago. He was laundering money for the drug cartel. They show up and they murder his partner because they were stealing money from him. He has to flee to the Ozarks and set up a new life, I guess. And this is the story of every shitty person making increasingly worse decisions because they're either stupid or they're the most arrogant person on the planet. It depends on who we're looking at any given time. I don't know. It's his wife, I think, in this season becomes much more like Skylar White from Breaking Bad.
She looks kind of similar too, but I think she was like the better version. She's like the badass version of Skylar White, I would say.
Skylar White is definitely worse.
Yes.
Because it'd be really hard to top her being a piece of shit.
I think the best way to go about this would probably be going character by character.
Okay. Why don't you talk about Laura Linney then as Wendy Bird?
At first, I could not decide if I wanted to be on her side or if I wanted to be on Jason Bateman's side. And that was what kind of tore me between really liking the power moves that she was making and being like, damn, what a little bitch. Damn, she's making moves, but I don't know if I trust her. Because it's like, I don't know if I'm playing the fence because I think some of the power moves that she made were worthy of being a badass Skylar rather than being a worst person ever Skylar.
I think it makes it even more of a tough call because naturally in the second season, you'd instantly go with Marty Bird. You would say he saved his family, even though he got him into this shit, kind of. But every choice that he made has saved his family. And he's a smart dude. he obviously is kept around because he knows how to fucking launder money, and him just being able to save their asses multiple times will make you think like, okay, I'm going to always be on Marty Bird's side. But at the same time, Wendy Brown now has further connections with the cartel, and you see a semi-different side to her where you're like, okay, well now if it wasn't for her, they might have been killed anyways. So it's tough in the third season to really take a side because they both have their pluses.
Yeah, it's -1 point for saying Wendy Brown. Her name was Wendy Bird.
Did I say Brown?
Yeah. Also, she starts out her character as a very hateable character from the get-go. Like, you're always on Marty Bird's side from season 1 just because she is cheating on him, and like Marty's trying to keep everything away from like the kids knowing and all that stuff. And then, but since then, and she's kind of redeeming herself in just sort of the business aspects and business things that are keeping them afloat.
She's definitely smart, and I think that like I said, everybody in this show is either the dumbest person on the planet or the most arrogant, and Wendy and Marty both fall into that arrogant category because they're both really, really intelligent and good at what they do. But man, there are some habitual line steppers. Man, they just fucking keep pushing it. So
let's move on to her brother and Ruth.
So before we get into that, how do we want to handle spoilers in this?
It's a good question.
Maybe it's okay if we spoil what happened in the first 2 seasons, but maybe we hold off on the ending of this season.
Okay. Fair? Yeah. Yes, that's fair.
Okay. So we have a new character this season. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, is Ben. I'm trying to figure out the actor's name. Ben.
Tom Felfrey.
Thank you. I thought he did pretty well, really. He's more of the Ozark type hillbilly. Definitely got the accent and the hair. His introduction scene I was very confused. I was like, what, did I fucking miss something here?
Right.
But it turns out he's just a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, no, and he played his disorder, spoiler?
Bipolar.
Yeah. So he played
spoiler.
So he played that character really well. I feel a lot of the really high highs and really low lows, and he was going kind of crazy, but at the same time you felt for him because it's like, this shit isn't normal what he's seeing, and he has the right to kind of freak out at some of the things that he's seeing, but it's also at the same time it's enhanced because he is bipolar and he can't handle those high highs and low lows.
Did you guys recognize him from what he was in previously? Like, I would say it's his biggest work. Iron Fist. He was the friend that turned. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
He just didn't have long hair. He had slick back.
But he had a different accent, didn't he? He had like a British accent. I don't know. I tried to push that show out of my head as fast as I possibly fucking could.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's keep going here. I feel like everybody that we introduce, we should say either most arrogant person on the planet or dumbest person on the planet. Dumbest for sure. And I know he's got a mental illness or whatever, but for sure dumbest person on the planet.
I don't think his mental illness had anything to do with some of the things that he did. Like,
I agree. Okay, let's talk about the kids, because I feel like they take a bigger spotlight in this season. Tell me that Charlotte Bird doesn't look exactly like Bran Stark with a fucking wig on.
She has the same facial, like the same head,
pointy chin, big nose,
puffy eyes, like squinty puffy eyes, kind of.
Bran Stark with a wig for sure, and she is also the dumbest person on the planet.
But she is smarter than a lot of the other characters in the show. But I mean, I don't know. It's not that great.
I'm gonna take you out of Moe's Tavern here. Say hi, Dak.
Oh, Dak in the cut.
What up, Dacker?
Dak came to Best Man Alive, came to bring me cookies, and
they're for Erica.
They're technically for my wife, but
my wife.
Very kind of him. We
nice mask.
And one of your 2 movies will be the punishment for this week, so we appreciate it. And he's also wearing the Chumpcast hat, so shout out to him.
I thought you were going to say he's wearing a Chumpcast mask.
We haven't made that yet. We have to make Chumpcast masks.
Yeah.
So, why don't you guys go ahead? I'm going to step out for just 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah. So Charlotte, she just made a really dumb decision. I don't know if I call either of those kids, Jonah or Charlotte, dumb, because they're not, especially Jonah. He's a smart kid, but
He's been laundering offshore money, like in offshore accounts or some shit.
yeah, the one decision they made with Janet McTeer, who plays
Helen,
the lawyer, with her, she now has her kid that's staying with her. They made a really dumb decision when they could have just denied and held off until telling her anything if they decided to, but they made a call and it was not a good call.
the problem with that was the information that was already laid out prior to the daughter. But I totally see what you're saying. That's what kids are going to do. Their vulnerabilities when it comes to trying to keep
they want to trust
information.
people. They want
want
to trust,
to.
especially kids that are their age. You know, they relate to them more, and they think like, okay, well, if I could keep a secret, they should be able to keep a secret too. But it's not always necessarily the case.
The absolute stress levels of those kids has to be through the roof. You should not be dealing with these kind of problems, especially at that age.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Ruth, though?
Ruth is my favorite character. She's
Same.
always been my favorite character.
Badass. She doesn't take shit from anybody.
Yeah. Even if you don't like her morals or some of the decisions she make just because of the way she grew up, you have to like her as a character. And that's what I never got when Smithers was like, they're all hateable characters. I'm like, I don't think Ruth is a hateable character. I think she does hateable things, but at the same time, you know where her intentions lie.
Exactly. And she's pulled herself up from her bootstraps and made like herself out of something with the situation that she's been put in. And she looks like she's 12 also. So it's even more weird.
Have you ever seen Julia Gardner in an interview? That's who plays Ruth.
Yeah, no.
She has just a typical like regular American New York accent and is the quietest, like nicest sounding person in the world. It's just hilarious. Go on YouTube and like listen to one of her interviews. You would never think the way she plays Ruth. They're just polar opposites from how it seems like she is in real life compared to what her character is.
Okay, I'm actually going to check that out because I love Ruth.
Funny.
She's awesome. Okay, so should we dive into, I guess, how do you feel about the cartel leader? He finally gets him more action in this third season with FaceTime and kind of interactions between the characters. How did he do as that cartel boss, as that leader? Was he intimidating? What'd you think of him?
Well, I personally have never met a cartel boss, so I don't know how they would act. But if they were to act, in my opinion, in some way, it's how he's acting, which is super quiet, super short, but very intimidating, and basically just leading his group of people to do whatever the fuck he wants. And if he wants Marty on a plane right away to come see him, he's going to get some guys to do that for him. So extremely powerful. I don't know. I didn't have a problem with the cartel leader and how he played that role.
No, I liked him in that role. I thought he was forced. He was like strong with his convictions. And also anytime Wendy tried to be like, yeah, we're doing this, that, and the other for you, he's like, I'm not saying thank you because that's just, you should be doing anyway. Like he was that kind of like,
thanks for doing your job.
Exactly. But like you're brutally putting him in the biggest imposition of all time.
Very much like a force majeure, like absolute resounding, like superpower. Basically, he is terrifyingly calm. I think is the best way I could describe him. So
that's a good way to put it.
For a minute.
And this isn't a spoiler, but he lets his actions speak for him, obviously. And one specific example is when when Wendy's calling him and basically wants him to like say thank you. And then he's like, what do you want me to do, Wendy? Say thank you for this? Give you a hug? In the last scene, there's a hug and you're just like, okay. Like he is I'm done talking because that's going to spoil it, but
go ahead.
I was going to ask the same question that you're about to ask. So you go ahead.
I think I was going to go a little different. And I completely just lost my train of thought, but
how did you feel that last scene? I mean, how did you feel at the end? The only thing I wanted was like, fuck you. I want season 4 immediately. when it cut to black.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And I guess since season 2 is so fresh in my mind because I finished it this week, even the end of season 2 was really unsatisfying. There wasn't even a cliffhanger. It was just like he's taking a picture with his family. The photographer tells him to smile, and he's so clearly unhappy. And then it cuts to black and white, and that's it.
Well, it's because they finally opened up the casino. That was like the biggest struggle that they were dealing with. And they're like, "Oh, this should be the biggest moment of you guys' life. This is fantastic." Not
in my
really.
opinion, a better way to end that would have been the scene with Ben in the beginning of this season. So you introduce him as a character. He shows up at Marty and Wendy's, then fade to black. Then you're like, cliffhanger.
Who's that guy?
Truth be told, I basically had this whole season spoiled for me at like episode 6 because I made the mistake, and for our listeners, never do this. Never Google search a character and then the show title, because then you'll have all the suggestions, and it basically said character is dead. And I was like, all right, fuck. Well, that just ruined it for me.
Yeah. Botch.
Yeah. Fucked up. Don't do that. Don't Google search.
I did the same thing with House of Cards back in the day. Oh wow, I like this girl. Wonder when she's wonder what else she's in. Oh, she's dead in this episode. Kill.
Yeah.
Do they have actual like boat casinos like this in Lake of the Ozarks? Because that sounds kind of fun.
I think so.
Probably.
I feel like I want to go to one.
On the water, baby.
Do you think this is bad publicity for them?
I don't know. You want to
No.
go there? I don't think it's bad publicity. You hate the state of Missouri for the most part, and that you want to go see it now. So I think probably a good thing.
What if you were driving in the Ozarks and then all of a sudden, like the actual sun was like dimming and just the whole shade of colors were turning blue? You're like, fuck, it's right. It wasn't even.
Yeah. How far did you guys get with the characters? Are we okay on that? You can talk
We
about-
did Ruth. We did Ruth. We did the mob boss. That was it.
Quickly on Ruth. Her voice is nails on a fucking chalkboard for me. And I don't know if it's just because she drops unnecessary fucks and everything. And I swear like a sailor, but the ones that she drops in don't make any sense where she puts them in a sentence. And it's really aggravating to me.
Because she's a little redneck hillbilly.
Yeah.
Down in the Ozark swamp people.
I was telling Brick to Google one of Julia Garner's interviews, who plays Ruth, and she's just from New York, has a regular just American accent, and seems like the most quiet, nicest person on the face of the earth. And it's just compared to her character that she plays, it's kind of funny when you actually see her talk to the press and stuff.
How about her relationship with Wyatt?
I thought that was one of the more interesting parts of this season because there is a huge conflict there.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it was treated was very good. In the past, she was just kind of like, she mothered him, and that dynamic changes thoroughly in this season, and I was very happy with it.
Sick.
Yeah, and what do you think about his current girlfriend situation? Do we dive into that?
No, that's a spoiler.
Let's
Muff
not.
first. Okay.
Very, very gross is what it is. I don't necessarily care for his character. I guess I know that's redundant because I don't care for any of these characters, but something about him just rubs me the wrong way. And I think it's just because he's like an uglier Steve Harrington.
He is uglier Steve Harrington. Crazy. Wow. Good reference there.
Okay, let's talk about Darlene and what's her husband's name? Anybody remember?
No, Jacob.
Ron Bergen. I think it might be Jacob. Yeah. So obviously, not obviously, I feel like they're the dumbest people on the planet. I know they were running a successful grow business for a while. There's just kind of a combination of arrogance and idiocy. But boy, Darlene especially is just fucking so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But she's insane in ways that make her successful, which is a very odd thing to say.
Okay, Mark, what do you think?
I think in the next season we'll have a better answer on whether she's we know that she is very emotional and that creates actions, and that's part of her stupidity is because she wants to shoot a guy, she'll fucking do it. She doesn't hesitate. If she wants to smack somebody, she'll do it. Doesn't matter. But I think season 4, she's going to be a big player, and we're going to get to know her a little bit better and see if she can actually outwit a lot of these people, because that's it's going to come down to that.
I think my problem and why I think she's stupid is because she thinks she's untouchable and she so clearly isn't.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I guess again that's a combination of arrogance and idiocy.
But she makes a comment at, I think it's the last episode, where she has the shotgun and uses it, and she makes a comment and it makes it seem like she does have a lot of power. Like she still has a lot of people working for her, but we don't really see that in season 3, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's really not there and she's not telling the truth.
That's just because she took a back seat as the villain in this season because they really reintroduced that cartel boss. They want you to know that she is still batshit crazy and she's still out there with shotguns being a warmonger.
Yep. Good call. Let's do one more character and then we'll kind of wrap up our thoughts. So Helen is a big part of this season, and she shows up as the cartel's attorney. She's in season 2, right?
We need to do one more person, by the way. Okay,
sure. But anyways, she shows up and she's at one point somebody refers to her as that giant lesbian bitch.
Yeah, she's 6'1" and she towers over everybody in this.
She does. And she is fucking intimidating, not just because she's big, but because she's smart and like for lack of a better term, she swings a big dick around.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, what this was pointed out to me that she wears she has a Superman closet full of very high-waisted pants and blouses, just in different colors. She's got a Superman closet full of everybody.
No doubt.
I think she's so intimidating because she's extremely powerful. Even though she's working for the most powerful person in this season, he's to some extent listening to everything. I mean, she's the one communicating things back and forth to him. So he's taking a lot of her word, and that is what makes her so powerful. Is because whatever she says about somebody could actually lead to their torture or death or
waterboarding, anything. So, yeah.
There's a lot of waterboarding in this season, isn't there?
Yeah. And but she has her vulnerabilities too, which come to the forefront here. But
all right, Brick, who's your last character you wanted to mention?
How do we feel about the FBI agents?
Boy, so we had a new one this season on top of the ones that we had before, and her name is Maya. I feel like she's if there is a single likable character, or at least I don't know,
her head's in it for the right reasons.
Yeah, in the entire season, it's her, because all the other FBI agents are shitheads and they're fucking terrible. She at least is trying to do good, which is more than anybody else in this entire fucking series, even the kids.
It's weird, her situation in there and the back and forth that her and Marty do throughout the entire season. Mm-hmm. I found that to be another good character arcs that kind of cross paths, how both of them are trying to flip each other and both of them know what both of them are up to. And so it's just like high stakes lying, like all the time. Just like, it's insane.
Very cat and mouse.
Oh yeah.
Mark, what do you think?
I don't know. It just the FBI in general don't seem like they really have, they're not able to really pull strings, or they're not going to be successful for taking down the birds. I think it's going to go one way or the other. They're going to end up running this empire, or there's going to be an all-out war between either the U.S. and FBI and military or whoever they bring in versus cartel, or they're just going to end up dying sooner or later. The birds are. So I don't know. I just didn't really think it mattered, having them.
Well, I think the one thing that they proved in this series, or this season, I guess, was that Marty Byrde is so good at laundering money. It was like they can't have anything. They don't have anything on these guys. They know he's doing it, but they literally have nothing on him that they can't. He's been doing it. He's just so good at it.
Yeah, I definitely think a point of having them involved in the season is to put that more on display. Yes, is to really show Marty Bird and also be that outlier that's kind of just like the fucking fly in his ear, that just won't go away. That's also just a small little problem, but
yeah, the inevitable doom of him either having to deal with the cartel or going to jail. Like there is that portion of it. If he does get caught, he's going to jail for a while.
So I think that this series as a whole is starting to reach the point where they have to at least be planning out the ending. I don't think this is a show it's not long for like 12 seasons. It's got to be maybe 5 would be good. You get one more season that ramps shit up.
That's the Breaking Bad formula
where you're starting to go to space and shit.
Yeah, we want to stay
do it.
We want to stay close to that Breaking Bad 5 seasons. We don't want to have a Game of Thrones 8th season botch of the year.
Yeah, well, that was actually going to be my question is how do you think this is going to end for our protagonist? Is it going to be Breaking Bad style where they go out in a blaze of glory? Is it going to be Dexter style where they go out and it's, he changes his identity and disappears as a fucking lumberjack, which is the dumbest ending ever? What do you think?
Game of Thrones style where the girl, what's her name? Charlotte
burns an entire city to the ground.
No, she becomes the new leader of the family, and then she reveals that she's Bran all along.
That actually makes sense. She is the three-eyed raven.
Exactly.
Just in a wig.
Exactly.
What do you think?
I think it's what?
How do you want it to end?
Oh, that's tough. First, I think it's going to end with Wendy finding out that Marty is going to die regardless from the cartel. And it's just a matter of whether they're all going to die or if she is going to basically allow him to die.
Sacrifice for the family.
And how I want it to end, I would love for the kids to go into like not witness protect. What would they go into? They would just go into like social services, witness protection.
She's almost old enough that she would probably have to go into witness protection, probably take him with.
Yeah.
She's like 16, right?
Yeah, they're close. They're up there.
Yeah.
And then them having a spin-off where Jonah is now the fucking
he launders money.
The laundering kingpin. Yeah.
Yeah, his arrogance is going to be the downfall of him because he already thinks he's the smartest person on the planet, and that is not going to end well for him.
He's going to be out of Wall Street at 22 and then just have Wolf of Wall Street all over.
He is Martin Shkreli in the Ozark universe.
Definitely.
Fucking pharma, bro. I think that they're going to end. This is going to be like in a blaze of glory, and I think they're all going to die. And I won't be
that's
that about it.
Yeah, that's definitely what you want because you hate everybody in the show, right?
I mean, they're just so unlikable. And I was into this season, but that was my biggest complaint of the first 2 seasons. This was so much like Uncut Gems for me, where just like it kept ramping up and everybody kept doing stupider things. And I don't know, man. It was good. I was riveted. I wanted to keep going with it. So that says everything I need to know, everything everybody needs to know about my opinion on it. So I guess we're going to do our standard rating on this. Purchase a Netflix subscription.
Hold on. Smithers, how did you feel about Ben? Because right off the bat, Ben started to be my favorite character. And then you realize, like, okay, he's not stable. And he starts saying shit. You're like, dude, just shut up. Just shut up.
His turn is epic in terms of his likability factor.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also not wrong. That's the thing is he's also not wrong. When you do think about it and like you take yourself and put yourself in his shoes, it's like fucked up, but also take a chill pill, bro.
Yeah. But if you find out that your family's involved with the fucking Mexican cartel, there's a certain way that you act, and everything that he did is the polar opposite of that.
Actual factual.
So that's my take on him. Do you guys want to rate this?
Binge it, see it right away, watch it, and just let that story drape over your body.
Mark, what do you think?
I'll go with binge it. I think this is definitely a bingeable season of Ozark.
Season 2, I would have said cough in my mouth. But this is worth it. This makes it worth it. Mark wanted me to just watch the recap of season 2, and I was like, I've got this very completionist mentality, which is why I play one video game until I'm fucking all the way done with it.
I can't wait for you to play Civ.
Dude, we reviewed Ozark season 2. So did you not just finish it? And
We did
Rick and I
season
just
1.
talked? Really? I thought we did episode
we did.
99 or something.
You'd have to look back. I checked my Netflix queue and I had gone through like 4 episodes, but either way, this was the first time I finished it. So, I think it's, like I said, it's worth going through.
So it's cough in your mouth until you're sick, and then binge season 3,
or just pay for a Netflix subscription instead of pirating it.
Okay.
I don't know. But Mark's gonna be looking through this forever to try and find the episode we done on Ozark 2. So, Brick, I will ask you, what do you recommend for this week other than Civ?
I honestly can't recommend. Yeah, no, I literally was already about to say Civ. What I would recommend is love and peace, dude. Love and peace. Keep it fresh. Keep it. We need a little more love and peace right now.
Let me just take over. I've got a few. I actually have a visual aspect this week. So this I grabbed from Amazon. This is the last book on the left from our friends at the last podcast on the left.
Hell yeah.
They published a beautifully illustrated book. If you're watching the stream right now, you're seeing some artwork here that is basically, I mean, it's almost comic book level artwork, where this is serial killers that they've already covered in the past in some of their podcast series, but they also go back with like a fresh set of eyes. That's how they kind of sell it. Is we did these forever ago, like Ted Bundy, they did forever ago, but they went back and they're like, what was different about this case? How do we look at this differently now? If you're not familiar with the last podcast on the left, it's 3 absolutely hilarious guys who do super deep dives on serial killers. Cannot recommend the podcast enough. It's only on Spotify now because they had an exclusive deal, but this is their book. I'm only about a chapter in, but it's very good. I'm very excited for it.
They have great riffs with each other on some of the most ridiculous situations that they kind of come across. Also, they have very in-depth, and they are very detailed on some of the things that are going on in the time. It's great.
Yeah. Mark,
do you think Apple's screwed because of that shit that's going on with Spotify? Because more and more people will put that like goodbye Apple kind of episode and say we're going to Spotify. I wonder if like they're going to end up trying to get Joe Rogan, because what is Apple doing to ensure that these people are staying with their podcast platform?
Eventually they'll do this, what Spotify does, and they'll just start paying the big ones. Mm-hmm. Apple has more money than God. Like, they can do whatever the fuck they want. They have a pile of cash that they can distribute to whomever. So yeah, I'm not too worried about where they end up. So, Mark, what's your recommendation?
What's up, Movie Files? It's good, man.
Yo.
I'm gonna say Call of Duty, because I just been playing a shit ton of Warzone, and now they have the Team of 4 shit on it. So more like Apex or PUBG, you can now squad up with 4 teammates or 3 teammates.
Apex is 3.
Yeah. Is it 3? Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I'm completely wrong. I don't play enough video games. But Call of Duty is fun. Downloaded it if you're on Xbox or PS4 or whatever.
Or PC. It's all cross-play.
Yeah. Everywhere but Switch. Which actually leads me into my next recommendation. I downloaded the Untitled Goose Game on my Switch.
Puzzle game.
It's fucking hilarious. It's so dumb. I don't know if you guys are familiar. Brick, I know you are, but
yeah,
basically just a goose, and you go around inconveniencing people in this small town, and you're just an asshole, and you flap your wings at them and you honk at them to distract them, and it's hilarious.
And then you basically unlock certain parts of the map while distracting them, and then you can kind of like do puzzles and unlock certain other things. That's hilarious.
It's so hilarious.
That's the same thing with Octodad that I always say. It's the funniest, best, worst game you'll ever play.
All right.
Do
you recap? Sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say I thought you were going to wrap up. So I wanted to just obviously recommend Mainframe Comic-Con. That is a digital online Comic-Con that we are going to help host and help run alongside Chuckload of Comics and our friend Chad over at Comic Corps. Go to mainframecomiccon.com. See all the guests we have. We have Kevin Smith, you know him from Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, Clerks, all that stuff. We were able to book Clark Gregg from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Avengers. He plays Agent Coulson. We just got David Dastmalchian, who is the very creepy looking guy from Prisoners. He plays the actor in The Dark Knight where they're at the parade and he gets caught and thrown into the ambulance and creepily laughs and all that kind of stuff. We also got Lamorne Morris from New Girl. So we have some awesome guests. Go to mainframecomiccon.com, April 25th through the 26th. This is completely free, will not cost you guys anything. However, we are taking donations that will go directly to the Hero Initiative, which is supporting struggling comic book creators and artists, as well as obviously the American Red Cross. That is another charity we're going to be donating to help with the COVID-19 relief. So tune in April 25th through the 26th. It's going to be a great time. We're also doing a lot of stuff cosplay related, art related. We have set up an artist alley online on the website itself, where you can basically be linked to all these different artists and their stores to help support them that way through buying their art. So go check it out. We were just also on CBS 2 News this morning, which is freaking awesome. So very excited for it. Is Smithers frozen or just?
That's just the way he looks all the time. I thought
he's back.
Oh my God, dude!
Why are there 4 screens of me?
He cloned himself. Oh my God!
What the hell? Oh, that was weird.
Smithers is just like, I'm like, dude, you there?
No, I actually just had a stroke. Anyways, nice job plugging Mainframe. I don't know what else I missed. Were you doing your recap, Rick?
No, I will do my recap right now.
Please do.
Here we go. The point breakdown for today's games. Smithers, +1 point for the Powerline shirt and Powerline references. -1 point for fake points.
Hey, do me a favor. Back up off that mic just like a couple inches.
+1 for Anna Kendrick. I like that. It was good casting. +2 for dark death humor. +1 for booze. +1 for the Barry Weiss reference. +3 for buying Civ 6, and we're going to play later. +1 for Coke Eyes. Dane DeHaan Coke Eyes. Yep, that's +1. +1 for Moe's Tavern. +1 for Best Man. +1 for the Pepe Silvio reference. +1 for Terrifyingly Calm. I thought that was a very good use of words. +1 for Very Ugly Steve Harrington reference as well. And -2 for cloning yourself at the end of the show. Mark, +1 for I gave you 3 points for Daniel Day-Lewis, Seth Rogen, Franco. I think that was a great cast movie. I would actually go watch it. -1 point for the whole pot smoking thing. It was more of an impulse. -1 point, even though you brought it back to them saving the pot. Still gave you -1 point.
I'm obviously a supporter, though. I mean, look at my background. It's that 70s show basement.
I did give you a point for that 70s show basement. I gave you 1 more point for Taking Back COVID High Teen. I did give you points for that one. That was a good title. +1 point for the water. +1 point for the Italy suck up. -1 point for Wendy Brown. +1 point for the Julie Garner interview. I actually do want to check that out. I want to hear what her voice sounds like. -1 point for Apex knowledge and being a noob. Overall winner with points 14-10. Smithers was the winner.
Fuck.
Eat shit, Mark.
Fuck.
What's your victory speech?
I would just like to thank everybody who made this possible. Me being better than Mark, it's years in the making, but it's so simple. I know it looks difficult, but it really isn't. Mark sucks. He's bad at everything. I love his wife and his kid and his dog, but he's just the fucking worst.
I thought you should have gave more points for the pitch break. It takes a lot more effort than 3.
I gave you 6 to give you 3 points for the goddamn casting too.
I also never tell you how to keep points, so
you did. You gave fake points earlier, so
yeah, you did.
That was outside of this game.
Well, congratulations on the win, Smithers.
Do you know which of the 2 we talked about that you want to watch?
It kind of depends on when I'm going to watch it, because if Kelly's not up and like sleeping, I'll probably just watch Into the Darkness, because I'm just curious as to why that movie is so bad, because it does look creepy. It has this really creepy looking lady in it.
Darkness. If Charlie Murphy was in that movie, I would watch it.
Doesn't that look pretty fucking creepy?
It does look pretty creepy.
Yeah.
If Kelly's around, then I'll just watch the Robin Hood movie, obviously. So we'll see.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, I think that's going to wrap up episode 190 of the Chumpcast. Thanks for tuning in. As always, you can find us on all social media platforms at the Chumpcast. You can also call or text us at 920-610-6107. Keep those voicemails coming in. We appreciate it. We appreciate the dumb suggestions. So,
and if you want to support the show, I also want to say, if you want to support the show, then we're actually not done. We're going to be on for another 15, 20 minutes or so. And Brick is going to be reviewing Couch Killer, which is
Killer Sofa.
Couch Killer, which is one of the greatest movies.
Everybody's name worse. You even called Darkness Falls by the wrong name.
What did I call it? Falls of Darkness?
I don't even know. It's something into darkness or
into
whatever.
the darkness.
50 Shades of Darkness.
Whatever, man. We're going to be reviewing that shit on Patreon. If you want to
Brett.
support the show, you could sign up on Patreon, support us that way. Patreon.com/the Chumpcast. Love you guys.
50 Shades of Darkness sounds like a Taylor Perry movie. Tyler Perry.
Gotcha.
Dude, we're done. We're done. Wrap it up, dude. Wrap that shit up.
Until next time.
Chumps out, motherfucker.